Welcome to the Dream Jewels channel. We're going to take you on a trip around a fair amount of the South Island, starting off from Hokitika and going right down to Palmerston and back to Nelson. So please bear with us and enjoy the trip. Well, we travelled down from Nelson to Hokitika and started the journey at Coomera Junction, where we started off on the road and the first few steep grades of the Otara Gorge. It was seemingly easy for a fair amount of the time, but it was soon to give way to steeper grades and the beauty of Arthur's Pass. I think one of the striking points of going through the pass, and in fact of the whole trip, were the mountains were seemingly crumbling away into massive gravel slips going down the valleys and so on. It's really a shame just to see these massive giants crumbling away. At this particular point here, I must mention that there is a charging station for your electric cars, the first one that I've actually seen. The bridge that you are about to see is called the Otara Viaduct. Now, this viaduct was opened in November 1999, and very clever way of getting rocks and water away from the road to stop the road from being closed was performed in order to get the traffic flowing through Arthur's Pass without too many hold-ups, which previously had been a problem. Once again, you can see the amount of crumbling rock that is going across the roads and all over the place. It's quite amazing to see the tons that must be there that have moved down from the tops. Coming down now, we're about to have a look at the viaduct in all its glory. It's an amazing structure, and the piles go into the ground quite a long way as well. You can imagine that there would be a need for that. It might be worth mentioning at this time that the viaduct is just over 440 meters long. Quite a lot of work and time would have gone into this, and for 1999, very well done indeed. Coming up, we felt like a cup of tea and found this lovely shelter. It's called Graney's Shelter, and it's a great start for walks and tramps around the Burkes Pass area. The sandflies and mosquitoes, I must say, were a little bit annoying, but apart from that, it was 22 degrees while we were there, and looking at some snow up on the mountains, I was amazed how close we were to snow being so warm in the temperature field. Well, we arrived at the Raikaya River Gorge, a beautiful place, massive river. You don't really appreciate the size of the river at this particular point, but as it goes round the bend off to the left, you see the width of the river as it goes out into normality. It's a braided river, which is really very beautiful, and oxygen-rich waters have a lovely colour, and you can see some clouds reflected in the water from time to time. Jet boating, of course, is a must down here, and there are plenty of little boats that will take you around fishing or sightseeing should the need arise. This was a jet boat, as you can see, and had something like a V8 motor, I think it was, because it was like a bee sort of zooming along. Well, we're heading onwards now and going to our next port of call, which we were going to spend the night at Lake Tekapo, and we had to go over a very easy pass. It's called Burkes Pass, and 709 meters for the people that like it in feet and inches is 2,327 feet along the top, which has a beautiful view, as you can see. Well, here we are. We've arrived now at Lake Tekapo, and who can go through Tekapo without seeing a picture of the Mackenzie sheepdog, which was really a tribute to James Mackenzie, the first settler of the area. I think Lake Tekapo was possibly at its best here. The water was nearly mirror calm. The views, well, they're 360 degree views. And there is the old church of the Good Shepherd with the planetarium in the background, and the village of Tekapo. A beautiful village, and there's the top of my van. This is where we were parked at the time, which beautiful. There are lots of views to see, and here is the one that we had from the back of the van. We are in the camp now, and you woke up to that view in the morning, and it was, must say, it was very, very beautiful and calming indeed. The following day was due to change as far as the weather was concerned. This is a dust storm. The winds had started up in the mountains. The rabbit didn't seem to mind, funnily enough. It was the second time that it sat outside the van where we were. Maybe it was going to invite itself for dinner, not too sure. Well, we've left Lake Tekapo and we've travelled down towards Twizel, and on the right hand side there is a beautiful lake called Lake Pukaki, and you can see from the clouds they were building, they were coming up from the south. There was due to be some heavy rain coming in, and that didn't disappoint either. But where there's sunshine, there has to be something to temper it down, doesn't there? And it didn't disappoint at all. We did go on to Twizel, where we found all this machinery on the side of the road, so one has to stop and have a look at it, amazed at the actual size. They look like toys when they're there, but with me standing up against the wheel of the grader, definitely not a toy. And here, believe it or not, is the rain. Now we're on the way to Cromwell, going down and over the Burkes Pass, which is 971 metres, or for the pure of heart, 3,186, and here we are at Lake Dunstan, which is quite a large lake when you consider that really it goes all the way down to Clyde, and it's surrounded by some beautiful scenery. One can certainly understand the old name for New Zealand being the land of the long white cloud. Certainly looks nice, doesn't it? Here we are now at Clyde and overlooking the dam area. Saw a boat down there, and it's rather interesting because it's either having a moment or they're venting some tanks. Not sure what is happening, but I've never seen that coming out of the bow of a boat before. Obviously a mail boat, I would think, wouldn't you? It was certainly going fast. It was rather hard to keep up with when I was taking the video, but a very, very smooth drive, and the guy that is driving it certainly knew what he was doing, I feel. Although he's scratching his head there, maybe, not too sure. This is the actual Clyde Dam. Believe it or not, it's New Zealand's third largest dam, and it's the largest dam on the Clutha River, of course. There's 1 million cubic meters of concrete sitting there. Would do a few driveways, wouldn't it? As we leave Clyde, we're on our way to Alexandra, where we'll turn left to go down to Ranfurly. And this is just some of the road that we went on. Roads in the Mackenzie country tend to be very long and very straight, and they're beautiful to drive along. On the right hand side of the road, of course, after we left Palmerston, is the sea. And the major thing that is up this particular piece of coast are these, the Moaraki boulders, and they do look rather odd, just sitting there on the beach. Maybe giant marbles, I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me what they are and why they're there. I haven't looked this up on Google at all. But it does look rather pleasant, and the area of Moaraki looks like a very, very pleasant place to live and be close to the sea. Now we're on our way right up now through Christchurch to the Huranui area, where we'll be spending the night. Well, that was a quick trip, wasn't it? Not so quick for us, unfortunately, but never mind. Here we are at the Haranui Hotel. Rather a pleasant place indeed, and it can be a little bit noisy if there are lots of trucks at night time. The hotel wasn't open, it's only open Wednesday to Saturdays at the moment, but it is a lovely place and well worth the visit if you're in the area. There are sort of some nice grapevines and some rather nice people around there as well. Well, we're off to Culverden and then over the Lewis Pass to Murchison and back to Nelson. Thank you very much indeed for watching the video along with us. Bye for now.